Welcome back to Saltwater Stories. Are you ready for another adventure into the ocean depths?
I am. Always ready to explore the wonders of the sea.
Well, this week we're taking a closer look at a creature that might just send shivers down your spine, but also leave you completely mesmerized.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. We're heading to the coral reefs and rocky shores to meet the moray eel.
That's right, the moray eel. Now, these guys might have a bit of a reputation for being a little scary, but trust me, once you get to know them, you'll see they are truly fascinating and incredibly important members of their underwater communities.
Absolutely. There's so much more to them than meets the eye, or should I say, those sharp teeth.
Exactly. And that's what we are here to uncover today. We're going to dive deep, no pun intended, into the world of the moray eel, exploring their unique adaptations, their hunting prowess, and maybe even debunking a few myths along the way.
I think we'll definitely bust a few myths today. People often get the wrong idea about moray eels, but we're here to set the record straight.
That's right. So let's start with the basics. What's the first thing that pops into your head when you think of a moray eel? For me, it's their incredibly long, almost ribbon-like body. It's like they were made to navigate those tight spaces and intricate tunnels in coral reefs and rocky underwater landscapes.
You hit the nail on the head. That long, slender body is perfectly adapted for their lifestyle. It allows them to squeeze into crevices and cracks that other fish can only dream of reaching, making them masters of hide and seek in the coral jungle.
They really are the ultimate hide-and-seek champions. And unlike many fish that use those paired fins on their sides to swim, morays have this one long, continuous fin that flows from their back all the way around their tail and then along their belly.
Right. It's like one giant fin, and it lets them move through the water with this really elegant wave-like motion. It's almost mesmerizing to watch them glide through those tight spaces.
Mesmerizing is a great word for it. And then there's their skin, which is unlike any other fish I can think of. Instead of those typical scales you see on most fish, they have this thick, smooth, almost leathery skin.
It's scaleless, giving them that sleek, almost snake-like appearance. And this skin is tough, offering them a good bit of protection against scrapes and bumps as they wriggle through those rough, rocky environments. Plus, it's covered in a layer of special slime.
Ah, yes, the slime. We've got to talk about the slime. It always seems to be a topic of fascination when it comes to eels. But trust me, folks, this isn't just any ordinary slime.
Oh, it's far from ordinary. This slime is a multitasking marvel. It helps them move through those tight spaces with less friction, acting like a lubricant. And it also makes them incredibly slippery, which is a great defense mechanism if a predator tries to grab them. They just slip right out of their grasp.
So it's like their own built-in escape system. Pretty handy when you live in a world where something bigger is always trying to eat you. Now let's move on to their heads. They often have this sort of blunt or rounded head shape, and their eyes are surprisingly small compared to their overall size. It's like they're peering out at the world through tiny little windows.
That's right. Their eyes are relatively small, and their vision isn't their strongest sense. They can probably detect movement and shadows, but they rely more on other senses to navigate and find food. And those jaws, oh boy, those jaws.
Yeah, we can't forget about those jaws. With all those sharp teeth on display, they definitely give off a bit of a don't mess with me vibe.
You got it. Their jaws are incredibly strong and armed with rows of sharp, backward-pointing teeth, making them formidable predators. But as we'll discuss later, that toothy grin is often misunderstood.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that always amazes me about moray eels is their incredible range in size. Some are tiny, like the Snyder's moray, which is only a few inches long.
Right. And then you have the giants, like the slender giant moray, which can reach a whopping 13 feet long. Imagine encountering that on a dive.
I think I'd be swimming in the other direction. That's an impressive size difference. It's amazing how much they can vary within the same family. So they come in all shapes and sizes, but what about their preferred habitats? Where do these slippery eels like to call home?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, we find them in coral reefs and rocky areas, but there's a bit more to it than that. They love warm tropical and subtropical waters, so think of places like the Caribbean, the Pacific, and the Indian Ocean.
So they're sun seekers, like the snowbirds of the ocean, heading to warmer waters when things get chilly.
You could say that. But when it comes to specific locations, their absolute favorite is a bustling coral reef. All those nooks and crannies, caves, and tunnels provide them with the perfect combination of shelter and hunting grounds. It's like their own underwater city with plenty of places to hide and lots of potential meals swimming by.
Makes sense. They need those hideouts to stay safe from predators and launch those surprise attacks on their prey. It's all about location, location, location. Now, we know that their homes are vital for their survival, but do they tend to settle down in one spot, or are they constantly on the move?
Well, once a moray eel finds a good den that offers them protection and good hunting opportunities, they tend to stick around. They're not nomadic like some other fish.
Yeah.
They'll often stay in the same den for a long time, sometimes even years.
So they're creatures of habit. Once they find a good spot, they're happy to call it home. And speaking of finding a good spot, we can't overlook the incredible diversity of colors and patterns we see in moray eels. It's like they come in every color of the rainbow.
You're right. They come in an amazing array of colors and patterns, spots, stripes, speckles, swirls, you name it. And this isn't just for aesthetics. Those patterns serve a very important purpose.
So it's more than just an underwater fashion show. They're not just trying to impress their eel friends with their stylish looks.
No, definitely not. One of the main reasons for all that color and pattern variation is camouflage. By blending in with their surroundings, they become practically invisible to both predators and prey. It's like having a built-in invisibility cloak.
So it's about staying hidden, both to avoid being eaten and to surprise their next meal. It's a double whammy of deception. Can you give us some examples of how different species use their colors for camouflage?
Absolutely. Take the giant moray, for example. It often has this brownish or grayish body with dark spots, which helps it blend in with the shadows and textures of the reef, making it look like just another part of the rocky landscape.
Like a leopard of the sea, blending in with its surroundings, waiting to pounce.
Exactly. And then you have the snowflake moray, which has a creamy white body covered in these beautiful black and bright yellow shapes, like snowflakes scattered across its skin. That pattern helps it disappear among the complex, dappled light of the reef crevices where it lives.
They sound absolutely stunning, like living works of art, perfectly adapted to their environment.
They are truly beautiful creatures. And then there's the zebra moray, which, as its name suggests, has bold black and white stripes that help it blend in with the vertical lines and shadows of its rocky habitat. It's like a walking barcode.
So each species has its own unique camouflage tailored to its specific environment. That's incredible. What about the green moray? Is it really green?
The green moray. That's a tricky one. Their skin is actually more of a bluish-gray color, but they have a layer of bright yellow mucus covering their body, which makes them appear green.
Wait, so their slime is actually responsible for their color? That's wild.
It is. And that mucus, as we discussed earlier, is incredibly important for their survival, providing protection, aiding in movement, and even contributing to their coloration. It's like their own personal superpower suit.
Super slime indeed. Now, we've talked about their size, their habitats, and their incredible camouflage. But how long do these fascinating creatures actually live? Do they have a long lifespan, or is it a short and sweet life in the ocean?
Well, it really varies depending on the species, but typically a moray eel might live anywhere from 10 to 30 years in the wild. In aquariums where they have a more controlled environment and no predators to worry about, they can sometimes live even longer.
10 to 30 years? That's pretty impressive for a fish. It seems like life on the reef, though challenging, can also be quite rewarding for those who manage to thrive. Now, let's zoom out a bit and talk about their place in the bigger picture. We know they belong to a group called moray eels, but how many different types of morays are there? Is it a big family or just a small group of closely related species?
Oh, it's a big family, a very big family. Moray eels belong to a family of fish called Morainidae, and there are over 200 known species within that family.
Wow, over 200. That's a lot of different morays swimming around out there. And I imagine they all have their own unique characteristics and adaptations, right? It's not just a one-size-fits-all kind of eel family.
You're absolutely right. Within this large family, you get that amazing variety in size, color, pattern, and even diet and behavior. We've already talked about the size extremes, from the tiny Snyder's moray to the massive, slender giant moray. And the patterns, as we've seen, are incredibly diverse, each one perfectly suited to its particular environment.
It's like nature got really creative when designing the moray eel family, giving each member its own special set of features and abilities.
Exactly. Take the zebra moray, for instance. It has those blunt, pebble-like teeth that are specifically adapted for crushing the shells of crabs, shrimp, and other hard-shelled prey. It's like they've got their own built-in seafood cracker.
A seafood cracker. I love it. They're clearly not afraid of a bit of crunchy food. Now, what about the ribbon eel? We've heard it's got a few tricks up its sleeve, or should I say its fin.
The ribbon eel is definitely one of the more dramatic members of the family. As they go through different stages of life, they actually change color and even sex. Imagine that. It's like they have a whole wardrobe of different outfits for different occasions.
That's incredible. Changing color and sex, they're basically reinventing themselves throughout their lives. Are there any other particularly unusual or quirky members of the moray family that you'd like to highlight?
Oh, there's so many fascinating characters. There's the dragon moray, which has these horn-like projections above its eyes that look almost like, well, dragon horns. Those are actually specialized nostrils that help them sense prey. They're like super sniffers of the sea.
So they're not just fierce looking, they've got a super-powered sense of smell to match. And what about the viper moray? That name alone sounds pretty intimidating.
Oh, the viper moray lives up to its name. It's got these long, fang-like teeth that are perfectly designed for snatching fish. It's like a lightning-fast strike, and then gulp, dinner is served.
Wow, so the moray eel family is full of surprises. It's not just one type of eel, it's a whole diverse group with amazing adaptations. Now let's talk about those adaptations in more detail. We've touched on their skin and slime, but what else makes them so well suited to their environment? What are some of their secret weapons for survival?
Well, their sense of smell is definitely a key weapon in their arsenal. It's absolutely incredible. Their nostrils are constantly sampling the water, picking up even the faintest traces of scents. This allows them to locate hidden prey, even in murky water or at night when visibility is low. It's like they have an underwater radar for finding food.
So it's not just about seeing their prey, it's about smelling it, like following a scent trail to dinner. It's like they're the bloodhounds of the reef. What about their other senses? How's their hearing?
While their sense of smell is their superpower, their other senses are also important. While their vision isn't as sharp as some other fish, they can probably see movement and shadows. They may not have super hearing in the way we think of it, but they likely have a good sense of vibration in the water, which helps them detect nearby activity.
So they're sensing their surroundings in a way that's quite different from how we do it on land. It's like they're tuned into the underwater symphony of vibrations and scents.
That's a great way to put it. And their skin, as we discussed earlier, is also sensitive to touch. This helps them navigate through those tight spaces and feel their way around without bumping into things or getting stuck. It's like they have a built-in GPS system based on touch.
So they're using all their senses to paint a picture of their world. And speaking of moving around, we've got to talk about how they actually swim. They don't have those big fan-like fins that we see on many other fish. How do they propel themselves through the water?
They're like underwater contortionists. They move with this really graceful, undulating motion using their entire body. It's called anguilliform locomotion, and it's basically a continuous series of S-shaped waves that travel down their body from head to tail.
So they're basically one giant flowing fin. That makes perfect sense for their lifestyle, allowing them to squeeze into tight spaces and maneuver through the complex reef structure with ease.
Exactly. And because they don't have those pectoral fins on their sides that many other fish use for steering, they have to use their bodies to push off against the sides of rocks or the seabed to help them change direction. It's like they're constantly doing mini push-ups as they swim.
Underwater push-ups, that's a great way to think about it. And I imagine their smooth, slippery skin helps reduce friction as they're moving, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like they're swimming in a wetsuit that's designed for minimal resistance. And here's another cool trick. They're really good at swimming backward. They can just reverse those body waves and retreat into their den just as quickly and easily as they swim forward. It's like having a reverse gear for a quick getaway.
So they're agile, they're flexible, and they can swim backward. It's like they're the acrobats of the reef. Now, we know they're predators, but how do they actually hunt? Do they chase down their prey, or is it more of a stealth operation?
They are ambush predators through and through. They're masters of camouflage and patience, often lying in wait for hours in their dens, blending in with their surroundings until an unsuspecting meal comes along.
So they're basically the ninjas of the reef, waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
Exactly. And when they do strike, it's with incredible speed and precision. Those powerful jaws, armed with those sharp, backward-pointing teeth, ensure that once they get a grip on their prey, it's not getting away.
Backward-pointing teeth, that sounds like a pretty effective way to hold on to a slippery fish.
It is. And here's where it gets even cooler. Some moray eels have developed this unique ability to tie a knot in their own body.
Wait, a knot? They tie themselves in a knot. What's that all about?
Well, they form a loop with their body, usually near their tail, and then they use this loop to gain leverage when tearing off chunks of larger prey that they can't swallow whole. It's like having a built-in tool for dismembering their meals.
That's incredible. Imagine trying to tear apart your food without using your hands. They've figured out how to do it with their own bodies.
It's a testament to their incredible adaptability and ingenuity. And as we mentioned earlier, their sense of smell plays a crucial role in their hunting success, allowing them to locate hidden prey even in the most complex reef structures. It's like they have a map of scents guiding them to their next meal.
So they're stealthy, they're fast, they've got powerful jaws, and they can even tie themselves in knots to help them eat. They're like the ultimate underwater survival machines. And in some cases, they even team up with other fish to hunt more efficiently.
You're right. They've been observed cooperating with groupers, taking turns flushing prey out of hiding spots. It's a remarkable example of interspecies cooperation in the animal kingdom.
A real underwater alliance. They're clearly more sophisticated than we give them credit for. Now, let's talk about something that might seem a little strange to those who aren't familiar with moray eels, those pharyngeal jaws. Can you explain what those are and why they are so unique?
Absolutely. Moray eels have a second set of fully functional jaws located in their throat called pharyngeal jaws. It's like having a secret weapon hidden in their throat.
A second set of jaws? That sounds a little scary and incredibly efficient. How do they even use them?
It is amazing. During feeding, these pharyngeal jaws actually shoot forward into the mouth. They grab onto the prey that's already being held by the regular jaws and then retract, pulling the food down into the throat. It's like having an internal grappling hook for swallowing.
So it's like a tag team operation for eating. One set of jaws catches the prey and the other set helps reel it in. That's an incredible adaptation.
It is.
Yeah.
And it allows them to overcome the challenges of suction feeding in those tight spaces. Imagine trying to suck in a large fish in a narrow crevice. It wouldn't work very well. But with their pharyngeal jaws, they can grab onto prey and pull it in, even in the tightest of spots.
Pharyngeal jaws, the secret weapon of the moray eel. Now, we've covered a lot about their adult lives, but let's go back to the beginning. How do these fascinating creatures come into the world? What's the story of baby moray eels?
Like most fish, moray eels reproduce sexually, with a male and a female, and they typically do it through external fertilization. The female releases her eggs into the water, and the male releases his sperm nearby, and hopefully they meet up and create some baby eels.
So it's a bit of a chance encounter, like an underwater love story. What happens to the eggs once they're fertilized?
The fertilized eggs hatch into these tiny transparent larvae called leptocephali. They look very different from adult eels. They're flat and leaf-shaped and drift in the ocean currents for months, sometimes even up to a year.
So they start their lives as tiny, drifting leaves, riding the ocean currents. That's a pretty adventurous way to begin. What happens during this long journey?
During this drifting phase, they undergo metamorphosis, gradually transforming from those flat, transparent larvae into more eel-like creatures called elvers or glass eels. They become more elongated and develop fins.
So it's like a complete transformation. They're basically shape-shifting from a leaf into an eel.
You could say that.
Yeah.
And once they've reached the elver stage, they will actively seek out and settle on the seabed in coral reefs or rocky areas where they'll grow into those incredible adults that we've been talking about. It's quite an incredible journey.
It really is. From tiny drifting leaves to powerful predators of the reef, it's a reminder of the amazing diversity of life cycles we find in the ocean. Now, we know they're hunters, but do moray eels ever form relationships with other creatures on the reef, besides those brief encounters with groupers?
They do. And some of these relationships are really beneficial for both parties involved. We call these mutualistic, symbiotic relationships. It's like a win-win situation where both organisms benefit from the interaction.
So it's like teamwork on the reef. Can you give us an example of one of these win-win partnerships?
Absolutely. One of the most well-known examples is the relationship between moray eels and cleaner shrimp and cleaner wrasse. These tiny creatures provide a cleaning service for the eels, removing parasites and dead tissue from their skin, mouth, and gills.
So it's like a little spa treatment for the moray eel. They just sit back and relax while the cleaner shrimp and wrasse go to work.
Exactly. The moray eel will often hold its mouth wide open, allowing the cleaners to go right in and do their job. It might look a little scary to us, but the eel is actually quite cooperative during these cleaning sessions. And the cleaners, in return for their service, get a free meal and protection from predators while they're inside the eel's mouth.
So it's a deal that benefits both sides. The cleaners get food and protection, and the eels get a nice clean bill of health. It's like a little ecosystem within an ecosystem.
It is. And these cleaning stations are important for the health of the reefs overall. They help keep the fish populations healthy and thriving. Now, even with these helpful allies, life on the reef can be dangerous. Moray eels face a number of threats, just like many other marine creatures. What are some of the biggest challenges they face?
Right. They're not invincible. What are the big baddies of the reef that they need to watch out for?
Well, larger predators are definitely a concern. Things like big groupers, barracudas, sea snakes, and even some sharks might see a moray eel as a tasty snack. So they have to be constantly aware of their surroundings and ready to retreat into those crevices and hideouts at a moment's notice.
It sounds like a constant game of hide and seek, with the stakes being a lot higher than just bragging rights. Now, beyond predators, what are some of the human-caused threats that moray eels face? We know our activities have a big impact on the ocean, and I imagine these guys aren't immune to those effects.
Sadly, you're right. Pollution is a huge issue. All those chemicals and plastics that end up in the ocean can poison them, either directly or by contaminating their food. And then there's habitat destruction. Coral reefs, their primary home, are facing a lot of pressure from things like climate change, pollution, and destructive fishing practices. These activities damage and destroy their habitats, leaving them with fewer places to live and hunt.
So it's like their home is shrinking and their food sources are becoming contaminated. That's a double whammy of bad news.
It is. And they can also get caught accidentally in fishing gear, which can injure or kill them. This unintended capture, called bycatch, is a big problem for many marine animals, including moray eels. And in some areas, they are overfished, either for food or for the aquarium trade. This can deplete their populations and disrupt the balance of the ecosystem.
It sounds like they're facing a lot of pressure from us humans. It's a reminder that our actions have a ripple effect that can reach even the most hidden creatures in the ocean. But is there any hope for the eels? What can we do to help them?
There is definitely hope. There are lots of things we can do to make a difference. Conservation efforts are focusing on protecting and restoring those vital coral reef habitats through things like marine protected areas and coral restoration projects. These efforts are giving the reefs a chance to recover and providing safe havens for moray eels and other creatures that depend on these ecosystems.
That's great news. So, there are people out there working hard to give the reefs a fighting chance. What about things we can do on a personal level? Are there any everyday actions that can help protect moray eels and their ocean home?
Absolutely. Reducing pollution is a big one. Being mindful of what we throw away, reducing our use of single-use plastics, and participating in beach and ocean cleanups are all things that can help minimize the amount of harmful stuff that ends up in the ocean.
So, it's about being responsible citizens, not just for our own neighborhoods, but for the ocean as well. And what about the fish we eat? Can we make choices that support healthy fish populations and minimize bycatch?
Definitely. Supporting sustainable fishing practices is crucial. Look for seafood that's been caught or farmed in a way that minimizes damage to the environment and other marine life. There are certifications and guides available that can help you make informed choices when buying seafood.
So we can vote with our wallets, choosing seafood that's been caught or farmed responsibly. And what about educating ourselves and others? Can that make a difference?
Absolutely. Learning about moray eels and other marine creatures, understanding the challenges they face, and sharing that knowledge with friends and family can help raise awareness and inspire action. The more we know about the ocean and its inhabitants, the more likely we are to care about their well-being.
So knowledge is power when it comes to ocean conservation. The more we understand, the better equipped we are to make a difference. Now, as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of the moray eel, what are some of the key things you hope our listeners will take away from our conversation today? What's the big message you want to leave them with?
Well, I hope they've come to appreciate just how fascinating and important these creatures are. There's so much more than just scary-looking eels hiding in the reef. They're incredibly adapted to their environment with their sleek bodies, their powerful jaws, their incredible sense of smell, and even those unique pharyngeal jaws.
They really are marvels of evolution, perfectly designed for their underwater lifestyle.
They are, and they play a vital role in the health of their ecosystems, helping to keep those delicate food webs in balance. But they also face a lot of challenges because of human activities. So understanding those challenges and taking action to protect them is crucial for their survival.
So it's a mix of awe and responsibility. We need to marvel at their incredible adaptations while also recognizing that their future is intertwined with our own actions. We have a responsibility to be good stewards of the ocean and all its inhabitants, including those toothy, slippery, and often misunderstood moray eels.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So, the next time you see a picture of a moray eel, or maybe even have the chance to encounter one in the wild from a safe distance, of course, remember all the amazing things we talked about today. Appreciate their beauty, their resilience, and their crucial role in the underwater world. And let's all do our part to ensure that these fascinating creatures continue to thrive for generations to come.
Beautifully said. Well, folks, that's a wrap on our moray eel adventure. Thank you so much for joining us on Saltwater Stories. We hope you learned something new today and maybe even gained a new appreciation for these often misunderstood creatures. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep caring for our amazing ocean planet.